It's been a long time, but we're back again with Valkyrie, the battle bus, ready to show you our Battleborn batteries as they've been installed. Now there's still a little bit of tweaking that needs to get done, but we do have the 2,700 watts worth of solar on the roof. It does work very well. I'll show you the inside where I've mounted the panels to monitor the inverter, as well as the shunts and everything inside, and show you a little bit about how we did things. Now, I'm not one to tell you that I know everything about what I'm doing. I certainly don't. I encourage you all to watch 1,000 YouTube videos to figure out what other people have done. This is just what we have done. It's a little bit more of a residential type setup than it is an RV setup. A lot of people use more Victron equipment than we did. We went with a couple of different things, like a Midnight Classic, and went with a Ames pure sine wave inverter as opposed to a Victron. So let me go ahead and show you the battery bay and before we get started, and we'll go from there. I feel it prudent to say that we did this differently. Again, I know I've mentioned that before, than a lot of people do. Originally, the house batteries were these 8D gel batteries that are so heavy I almost couldn't get them out of here. One of them had gone bad. Those are 12-volt batteries that were stored in this first compartment right there. I have not cleaned up the compartment yet. What I've done is I've actually rerouted the cords that went to this battery and battery rack, and again, we're going to clean this up. This will become room for luggage, and that'll actually go in a different bay, but this will be for storage. The cords we poked them back through there where they went to the other inverter, and actually tied them in with these two 12-volt deep cycle batteries in the back that run the house systems. We did this for a couple of reasons. One is I needed something that could start the generator, because this 12-volt system, it has to be started the generator. We could have done a step down off of this 24-volt system. Again, we've got and I know the cords are a little bit wonky, and that's because of the fact that you've got to have the correct length of cable running for the longest length. Has to connect all the batteries in series and in parallel. So some of the wires ended up being a little longer than we thought they were going to be, and so I just had to make them all a little bit longer, which allows me to connect them. But I left a few of them that had a little bit extra sag in them there, which we'll tuck back up in there and get that going. But off the roof, the solar, sorry, backtrack here. Off the roof, the solar comes down. We actually ran it into a weatherproof breaker box. I have it screwed shut, but they're actually 3 separate breakers, one for each string of panels up there, that ties it into a main breaker in this panel, and then it feeds over to this Midnight Classic. And I apologize because I'm sure that the light is not great, which is a charge controller and everything for the solar. And then, of course, that feeds the 24 volt system. I'm sorry, we changed this all to a 24 volt system. Again, I've got this attached in here, one, so I can start the generator off the 12 volts. We'll continue to run the house systems off the 12 volts without having to change anything inside the coach. Now, these 12 volt batteries, one, I can still use my boost switch to juice up the actual starter batteries off of these if I had to. They are constantly being trickle fed through this, which is a very out of focus. There it is. A Victron Energy smart charger. And this takes the AC power from the coach. I've got it plugged in and fires it over to charge those and keep them topped off, which is good, so that I'll always have full batteries. And if you start using house batteries inside, that keeps them topped off from this big battery bank that feeds all the AC in the coach. So 2 other things that are going on in here that I've wired in. One is this, which is powered in to charge the 24 volt system off of the generator. So what I've done is I've hardwired the generator. The generator now no longer feeds the coach. The generator is a 110 generator. It's not a 220. So I have it tied in directly with this. So if for some reason it's cloudy outside, I do not have enough juice in the batteries, and I need to get some battery juice, I can run the generator. It backfeeds a plug into this, which then feeds the battery bank and charges the battery system. Basically, everything I do is going to run off these batteries and the solar, and the off chance that I do need to have some additional juice, I can fire up the generator and run that. So the generator no longer powers the coach. Why did I do it that way? Well, I did it that way because of that AC unit. The heat pump unit, AC unit, is a 240 system. And so, and again, I'm not done over here yet either, so apologies for the mess. This big Chiba is a 6,000 watt Ames power. It is a 24 volt, 240 capable inverter, charger. If I've got all that correctly, I apologize if I've missaid anything here, but anyway, when I'm plugged in to a 50 amp service, and again, haven't cleaned all this up here, I've got it wired to where it actually goes through this and charges those batteries to maximum capacity, and also feeds the entire coach system. So when I'm plugged in, I can be using everything in there like I normally would be. Batteries go till they're completely charged, they shut off, they stay in hibernation mode ready, and I just strictly use the 50 amp service at a park or wherever we're going. As soon as I disconnect this, instantaneously this thing triggers, kicks on that 24 volt system and feeds the coach using nothing but this, that feeds all the panels inside. And so that I run solely off of battery power and solar power whenever I'm on the run, no matter where I am. And the heat pump and the mini split unit is the main reason why I had to go this route. So I have pulled the other inverter that they had over there. It was back in this hole, so I pulled that out. So that's just kind of some additional storage, I guess. I don't know exactly what we're gonna do with that yet, but there's some additional room back in there. But that is the general setup and why we did it the way that we did it. Again, it could have been done a lot different. You could have used a step down unit, and we could have tried to rewire from, you know, a step down unit from here, from these batteries, the 24 volt to a 12 volt step down, and tie it directly in with the 12 volt house panel in the back to run all the lights and everything else, and not had these two batteries. But I wanted to be able to start that generator easily. I didn't run any new wires or anything. I just pulled the existing wires and shoved them right into there, so that was an easy swap. Yes, I had to buy two new batteries, the deep cycle marine batteries for there. They are considerably lighter than these batteries. I will say the one advantage, and I didn't even plan on this, and that is that all these batteries are right in the center of this coach, lower center as opposed to being on the outside. I've also pulled the propane off the other side, so our weight has moved to the center of this coach a lot more so than it was, which is great, because if you loaded them all up on one side, I could see how this could get a little bit wonky as far as going back and forth with that. But again, that is the general setup. From there, I will be building a wall to segment off the wet side, obviously, from this thing here, because I don't want to get any water on this. I will also be building a shelf over the top of this, as well as an area to where I can then store this electric cord up on top of this or through there, to be able to store that in here as well. We have another area we're going to be putting the little stinky hose. May even decide to put it up there next to the gas tank, but we're going to turn this into where it's, you know, clean it up to where it's going to be an electric side over here. And that is how we did it, to keep the bays from freezing. Somebody actually asked me this, how we do it, and some people use light bulbs, so I'll just mention this since I'm here. In every one of these wet bays have a little 150 watt heater, Mr. Heat, I think is, or My Heat, excuse me, is what that's called. Not Mr. Heat, that's a different thing. And I've got it plugged into the coach in a thermal plug. I'm going to be putting one tied in with a thermal plug that will heat this area, which is what that is. And then I have one on the other side as well. Just walk you around here. There's our mini split, which has been working great. It did the heat the other day, and it was about 10 degrees outside and kept up just fine. The other, don't fall down, we got a thermal plug that's plugged in there, and it runs over to a little heater that's kind of tied in down there. And so, again, that, if it gets cold enough, that'll trigger that on. That's got an on switch. It just comes on, heats up until that reaches, I believe, 45 degrees, and then it shuts everything off and lets it sit again. And so it just keeps that wet bay from freezing, the other bay from freezing, and the other one. And then, of course, since we're on battery and other power, we should be good to roll. So hope you all have enjoyed watching some of these. The interior panels. So the interior panels I have mounted here next to the refrigerator. You use these on Bluetooth anyway. This is that runs to a shunt that shows me the battery. That runs to the Bluetooth, which I use on the phone. And this one here is for the inverter so that I can turn it off or on. It has an energy mode, but I would never use it. So anyway, that's what's going on there. And that's where they were, was up in there. I just covered that up with a panel. I could not pull the wires back through, so I just covered it up and just made it look like the rest of what we got going on. This was easier to feed because I pulled this out and could just feed them directly down below behind that refrigerator and then put the refrigerator back. So that worked out pretty good as far as that goes. And then we will be out of here and going on some trips, and hope to be seeing you all in the future on the road. If you do see us, we are the K-Woods, and we are Valkyrie.